everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play of King's Quest VI. My name is Anna Mardell. When we last left off, we had bested the Minotaur, saved the catacombs for the Winged Ones to reclaim. We had met with the Winged Ones Oracle, and she had suggested we go and speak to the Druids. We went to the Druids' Isle, but they sounded like maybe they were busy. So we just took a scythe and a lump of coal and left. I have no regrets about that. While the druids do their druidy things, let's go to the Isle of the Beast. Because I've got a shield that we found in the catacombs, and it is burning a hole in my pocket. I want to use it. Hot, 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 hot. I want to use it on you. Alexander decides to pass through the gate, preparing the shield just in case. The magic arrow completely shatters the shield. Good thing the arrow didn't hit Alexander. The archer's bow is empty, his lone arrow is spent. Sorry about that arrow, friend. The stone archer looks resigned and does not reply. With the gardener gone, Alexander can see that the garden plot is hardly more than a fresh patch of dirt. And there's some roses over here. Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges. Oops, not Isle of Wonder. I want to save on the Isle of Beast. And we can stride through. Alexander walks forward to step onto the gazebo, and mother heck! The rose hedges on either side of the path, sensing an intruder's presence, reach out their vines and blend together. The path is blocked. We have a scythe. Alexander wields the scythe, determined to get past the magical rose hedges. The leaves fly as Alexander tries to cut the branches faster than they can grow back. He sees light. He's through.
Who dares enter Beast's garden?
My name is Alexander. I didn't mean to disturb your private garden.
No, and yet, monsieur, you could hardly have accidentally broken through the 3 enchanted traps of the Isle of Beast.
I suppose it is simply my nature to break through enchanted traps.
You must be a prince, then. I know the nature of princes all too well. This face you see before you is hideous, is it not?
Well, for the face of a beast, it is really quite noble.
I'm glad you like it, for you will soon own one just the same. I, too, was once a pretty prince, caring nothing for adventuring and rescuing fair maidens. But I rankled one too many evil hags. One dark night, I was turned into the obscenity you see before you, warped in shape and trapped on this enchanted isle over 100 years ago.
Surely there is a way off this island.
Oh, surely. You broke in, did you not? And yet think, where would I go clad so eloquently as I am, with this silk and this pelt? You see, my prison is also my sanctuary. You were the first to break through the barriers in lo these many years. That is, except for the druids, who stole my heirloom coat of arms.
If there's any way I can help.
Help? You? I'm afraid you don't understand. The enchanted barriers were a warning and protection for you more than for me. Your prize for forcing your way past them is to join me in this dire life. By the laws of sorcery, you are doomed to be trapped in the form of a beast. Your reward for broaching this garden is to be my slave, a slave as beastly as I am. You have only a few hours of humanity left.
But that's not possible. There must be some way to break the enchantment. Spells always have a weakness somewhere.
The enchantment you were under is tied to my own. The sorceress left me a way out, all right, but I'm afraid it was only her final bitter joke. You see, I need to find a maiden to join me here, to share my castle and my life willingly. Take another look at me. You can't help but admire the hag's terrible cruelty and cunning.
I shall try to find such a maid for Casima's sake.
Truly? How determined of you. I personally would not waste the last few hours of my life as a man on an impossible errand. However, you may do as you please. I give you this token. It's my family ring, and the only heirloom I have left. If, perchance, if you think you have found a maid,
I shall give her this ring.
Yes. She must accept it of her own free will. By doing so, she accepts me. Not that you shall find anyone, mind you. Your time is short. Count the minutes on your fingers, while fingers you have, pretty prince. Your master awaits you.
Well, that's not good. We don't have a lot of women that we know. But the Isle of Beast has roses. And there was that one girl on the Isle of Crown who seemed particularly enamored of roses. I wonder if, I don't think you can, but could we send the knife to Casima? The little bird couldn't do anything with something that heavy. Fair enough. There she is, thank goodness. Looking at this servant girl reminds Alexander of the years he spent as a slave under the evil wizard Mononon. He wishes there was some way he could help her. She looks very shy and nervous as she tends her roses. The girl is too shy and fearful to talk to a stranger, especially a tall, handsome one such as Alexander. Well, how does she feel about white roses? Pardon me, maid. I hope you don't think me too forward, but I see that you like roses. I thought you might perhaps like a fresh white rose. Alexander can see the conflict in the girl's pretty face as she fights between her distrust of him and her desire for the white rose. The rose wins. Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely. I've never seen a rose of white. It looks so pale and delicate. Wherever did you find one of such a color? There are many hedges of them on the Isle of the Beast, and they grow together like magic. Oh, truly? What an adventure that must be to see them. But I should not speak so, especially to a stranger. Thank you for the rose, though, kind sir. This is the beast ring. Alexander has a thought about the serving girl. He decides to bring up the subject of beast with her. Let me tell you about the place where the white roses grow. The Isle of the Beast is an enchanted place. There's a path running through a deep forest. The path crosses 3 magical blockades set to keep all visitors away. At the center lives a tremendous beast. Really? Magic blockades? How exciting! What kind of beast? Is it very terrifying and ferocious? It is a beast that walks on 2 legs and dresses like a prince. It speaks with the voice of a man. A beast that talks and wears clothes? How is that possible? Is the beast magic too? Not magical, enchanted.
beast was once a prince, but a witch trapped him in the form of a beast and set him on the island. There he lives in a castle in the midst of a maze.
How terrible! Imagine how lonely he must be.
It is a very lonely prospect, isn't it? I have met him, you see. He is indeed ferocious, but who would not be?
He really exists. How it breaks my heart. If I could, I would tend to such a beast. Such a beast might find comfort in a kind face. Do you not think it so?
Oh, I think it so. I think it very much so.
You would not be afraid of him? Afraid? Maybe at first. But how silly of me to speak so. The roses in this little yard are the only magic I will ever see.
I could take you there. In fact, I would owe you my life if you would go, if you truly wish to go.
You are serious? I could leave here? I have always dreamt of leaving, but to actually go, this is the only home I have ever known.
Home is a hard place to leave, even if you're unhappy there.
But I will go. If I can help him, I must go.
Is there nothing you wish to take with you?
There is nothing.
Then take this ring. It is his. He will be pleased if you would wear it.
Why, it's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Thank you kindly, sir.
Beauty, where do you think you're going?
To a place where roses grow, and to someone who truly needs me.
I see you wear my ring. You willingly agree to spend your life here with me? Do you know what that means?
Yes, my lord, I do. I have been touched by your story.
Pity alone need not sentence you to endure this face.
Oh, but it is a gentle face, and kind.
You look at me so sweetly, and are not repulsed. Oh, by the light of your eyes my spirit soars. The enchantment, it is broken.
I am pleased to have served you, my lord. Do you still wish me to stay?
What? Speak not such nonsense, Beauty. Do you think that I learned nothing of true love during my time here? You are my queen.
My clothes! This gown!
How well it suits your noble heart.
Alexander, how can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude, but please take these old clothes. Perhaps you'll find someone in need during your travels.
You have already repaid me by your example of courage, Beauty, and by your friendship, I hope. You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. But from a fellow adventurer, take some advice. If you find your true love, protect her with your life. We are all beasts without the redeeming humanity of love. And to aid you, accept my mirror. Now that my life is no longer hung in false shadows, I have no need for it. Give it to someone with nothing to fear from the truth it reveals. Thank you. I wish you both well. Come, Beauty. Let me take you home.
We have a mirror. Beast's mirror consists of a piece of glass set in a decorative frame. The glass is unusually clear and the image particularly true. Alexander looks in the mirror and sees a handsome, somewhat lonely young man. Okay, so... we have a spell book. It has a magic paint spell, a make rain spell, and whoops, didn't mean to exit out. And a charming a creature of the night spell. I think, and I'm going to test something. Okay. A group of serving women approach the castle.
Woof! More serving women. The castle staff is certainly busy today. Aye, Gruff. Get a move on, wenches. There's plenty of work left to do before the wedding.
Yes, Sergeant Gruff. The Oracle told us that there were multiple paths to our future. Taking his cue from the serving women he's seen enter the castle, Alexander decides to try a few alterations to make himself more acceptable to the guards. He ducks into the little hut to put on Beauty's clothes. Feeling a little foolish, Alexander slips Beauty's old clothes on over his own. Imagine if Cassima saw him like this. Well, here we go.
You there, girl, you're late. Get a move on before the vizier sees you.
The castle guards lock the main entrance doors behind Alexander. From the open door comes the clatters of pots and pans, yelled instructions, and other busy kitchen noises.
You girl, don't just stand there. There's a stack of silver almost to the ceiling that needs polishing for the wedding. Get a move on.
I can't afford to get caught up in that mess. I'd never find Cassima. So by all means, just get rid of your disguise, Alexander. It is possible at this stage. Whoa! Alexander runs right into a guard dog patrol. I don't remember how you do this. Nope, that's not how. Nice castle. That's not what we want. I honestly don't remember how you do this part, if you do this part. I know there's a way.
A diverging pattern to ensure constant visual coverage of all parts of the hallway. Is there some way to make a distraction over here? I honestly don't remember how to do this. Okay, yeah. Is it on both sides of the hallway? Okay, alright, so the one hallway they're in a divergent pattern and the other hallway they're by Cerebus's color, but I'll be glad when this wedding is over. I'm getting mighty tired of the patrol, Bay. It's wearied me to my bones. I couldn't agree with you more, Wolf. Who'd have ever thought we'd have to listen to Princess Cassima crying all day long, and yet be ordered to ignore it? Something sticks in my craw about the whole thing. The Vizier says that the princess is not herself, says she's half mad with grief over her parents' death. I can see it, the poor mite, but still... I agree. It seems cruel to lock her up when she's so heartbroken. Let her out in the fresh air, I say. It'd do her a world of good. And she insisted on the morning period, and it's up today. Thank the stars. It's too bad we couldn't find that nightingale of hers. The Vizier says she's been pining for it. If I had an ounce of luck, I would have found it weeks ago. Not only would it cheer the princess up, but the reward the Vizier's offered for it would have made me pretty happy too, doggone it. Ah, well, our luck will definitely be out if the Vizier catches us snapping our jaws at our post. Sorry, I'll keep my mouth shut. Okay. So it is possible that... Gosh dang it. Glad I saved. Oh, they want the nightingale. Well, if I'd actually brought it with me, that might have been better. Well, fortunately for them, for me... Come on. I wanted to show you all this, but I didn't want it to take up buku time. Well, I'll talk while we move towards the beach. So the Oracle said that we don't have a single path forward that's fated. There's lots of different ways to move forward. And it is possible to, at this stage of the game, to infiltrate the castle and plow forward to an ending. No, wait, that's not what I want. No. Gosh dang it. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. Good day, Prince Alexander. What's the item? Where is it? Tinderbox, there we go. Nightingale. We're just gonna ignore the old man for now. And of course, I didn't. There's not an easy way to skip through all this. Those service switches are always late. Put on our clothes. Go inside. So we're gonna go up here. And we're not gonna plow all the way to the ending. But I wanted to show you this. No. So they want the nightingale because it would make Cassima happy. Gosh dang it. And I didn't save. Was there an autosave? No, of course not. Yeah, okay, we're not gonna stick with it. But so if we had stayed here and if I had saved my game and wasn't a complete nonce, you can put the nightingale down in the hallway and they will go to investigate it, and you can hide and you can talk to Cassima through this door. And from there on, you can have similar end decisions as the what I think of as the true ending. And that has always stuck with me, the fact that you can kind of do a rush for the ending from here on, because there's still way more of the game to go. But you can do a shorter, like I said, an end rush for the ending. And it was almost kind of like the kids' ending version, because it was the version that, at least for me as a kid, I had clothes, and that cutscene came open when I went to go see the castle again, and it was like, oh, okay, that's how you get in the castle, and that was the ending I got. And I didn't realize that by doing so, I did an end run around a whole bunch of different content. Most of the guides that I found online, the strategy guides, will just show you the full game the way you're supposed to do it, because you get a better ending and more points and everything else. But if you wanted to get the truncated ending, and when we get to the ending, I'll talk about what the differences are. It's not a bad ending, but it's more like the non-standard ending that's not quite as happy as the super duper happy you did everything right one. If you wanted to see the non-standard ending for yourself, this is where you do it. Once you get Beauty's clothes, you can use them to get into the castle. And from there on, you still have to have other things, like, for instance, you need the nightingale and stuff like that. And we could do all that, but I'm not going to, because it's essentially the same content, and I don't want to go through the same content twice, but I wanted to show you that it was possible. But, okay, so now we're going to play it properly. Alright, back to this. We have, no, not the map. We have a book, a magic book. And it's such a funny thing, too, about kids, because I realized that I was ending the game with all kinds of inventory items that I never used, and with magic spells that I never used, but I couldn't figure them out, so I figured they were just, like, extra put in. I don't know. So we have a magic paint spell. Don't know what to use that for just yet. And we had a enchanted creature of the night spell. Don't know what to use that for yet. But we have this make rain spell. Salt water not from the sea, sacred water, and falling water. First, mix salt and sacred waters in a teapot. And this has made me think of that spell because we have falling water here. A fountain in the middle of the clearing bubbles with fresh glittering water. So we need a teapot, and we don't have a teapot, so that's been kind of a point of contention for that whole spell. But but we do have a lamp. And maybe for purposes of the spell, it's good enough to use. Maybe a teapot and a lamp are essentially the same as far as the magic is concerned. So first you're supposed to mix the salt waters that aren't from the sea. And that makes me think of, like I said before, crying, because in King's Quest VII we had to cry to get salt tears to turn salty water clean. There are babies here, and we have this milk bottle that we got from the swamp in the previous screen. If Alexander gives one of the baby tears a milk bottle. All the other baby's tears seem to resent Alexander's gift for some reason. One of the babies is sucking happily on a bottle of milk while the others are spilling copious tears over their lack of the same. So let us use this not quite Alexander collects some of the baby's tears in the old hunter's lamp. And while we're here, we have this sacred water from the oracle. And let's put that in the... Can we not? Let's get away from that sound. It's not a sound I like. Let me see if I'm doing this right. Mix salt and sacred waters in a teapot. Teapot, sacred waters, they're not wanting... Alexander examines the oracle's vial. It looks very fragile. Inside he can see a crystal clear water. There we go. Alexander pours the contents of the oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the baby's tears. The vial, now empty of its sacred fluid, disintegrates. Then you are supposed to add the falling water. So back we go to the island of the beast. And over the fire pit, or the boiling water that isn't boiling anymore, into the hedge garden. Teapot gets the water. Alexander fills the hunter's lamp to the brim with fountain water. And now, speak incantation over teapot to enchant. Heat to boiling to activate. Clouds of thunder, shafts of light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3 I have for tea, brew a tempest now for me. Alexander prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the make rain spell incantation. He doesn't even need a wand or anything. The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk. He hopes the spell works despite his makeshift teapot. Well, we didn't get a rain spell, but we would have to heat the teapot to boiling before the spell will trigger. Right now it's just kind of on standby. There's one more thing I want to do before we use our teapot. I want to go back to the Isle of the Crown. I don't know if there are any points for this, but
can do is you can take an extra white rose. We gave our first white rose to Beauty. You can take an extra white rose and give it to Sing Sing. There we go. Alexander holds out the rose, hoping the bird will deliver it to Cassima. The nightingale takes the rose and heads for the castle once more. A white rose, how beautiful! It must be from Alexander. How I wish I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. He only risks capture by sending me these things, dear to my heart though they are. Fly elsewhere, my pretty friend. Do not endanger Prince Alexander again by taking tokens from his hand. Forgive me, Alexander, and forget me. I cannot return your love, for I fear that I shall never leave this castle again. Alexander waits in vain for Cassima's nightingale to return, but the bird does not. Could there be something wrong? Or does Cassima simply not welcome his attentions further? I don't think there's any game points to that, but it's more characterization of Cassima, and that's never a bad thing in my opinion. So now, why did we enchant the teapot? We're going to go back to the Druid Island. As you recall, last time we were there, they were having some kind of ritual, and we didn't want to interrupt, so we just sort of stole things from their village instead. Oh, hi. Hello. Great gods, did you see that? That man just appeared from nowhere. Perhaps he was sent by the spirits. I see no boat. He's an intruder, no matter how he got here. Grab him. Not again. Look, I'll leave. It's no problem. I think not. Let's go. Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue. We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid. Uh-oh. Archdruid? Now what has Alexander wandered into? This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage. Wait, I must rescue the princess! There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself. Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage. And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage. Alexander pulls out Beauty's old clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves are burned to cinders, thus walling off any chance to do the beeline rush to the ending that we looked at earlier. So this was the choice we made. You could either go into the castle then and there with Beauty's clothes, or you can go forward with the plot this way, but you lose the clothes and you lose the chance to follow that ending. Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long. It's that bubbling noise. The heat and movement have jarred something. Something that Alexander's carrying is starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain. That man is a powerful nature wizard. By this sacred oak, let him down.
Later, after a short but furious thunderstorm, I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. We've been feeling inhospitable ever since the winged ones stole our sacred miniature oak tree. Besides, Vizier Ahazarad sent a message that we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin. I assume you are the one he meant. I am sure I'm precisely who he meant. I assure you I mean to harm no one, unless that person threatens the princess. I'm sorry to have disrupted your ceremony, but I'm running out of time. What is it that you seek? The oracle on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain told me I should speak to you about the realm of the dead. She told me of 2 souls in unrest there that I might be able to free. Free souls in the realm of the dead? You're mad. The souls might be able to help me on my mission to save the princess. It's imperative that I do everything I can. The risks are not important. No, and yet getting yourself killed will hardly help the princess. But I will tell you what I know. Legend has it that it is the right of any human to challenge the Lord of the Dead in order to save his own life, or the life of another already past. But the knowledge of how to do this was lost centuries ago. I have only heard of one who tried it, a young knight who came to the land of the Green Isles from a distant land long ago. According to the story, he was determined to challenge the Lord of the Dead for the soul of his dead lover. It is said that he tamed the Lord of the Dead's horse, a black-winged, demon-hearted beast named Nightmare. Nightmare sometimes flies to the human world to feed on certain noxious plants. Those unfortunate enough to see her are glad to escape with their very souls intact. Somehow, the knight captured Nightmare and rode off on her back, supposedly to the realm of the dead, but neither the knight nor his lover ever returned. If there was a means for challenge, it was lost with the knight. I see. Can you tell me anything about the Lord of the Dead? Ah, that is a blacker matter still. To the Druids, he is Samhain, Lord of Coldness and Despair. Samhain was once a man like you or I, but he insulted the gods and was sentenced to rule the underworld. Immortal he is, and mateless, robbed of sleep, robbed of movement, and robbed of companionship. It is said that he hates all mortals, even more for the mortality that he lost. That is all I know. Interesting. I shall remember. Now look how the oak embers of our bonfire still glow hot, despite the rain. If you're bent on your course, you'll need courage that's just as impervious to the chill. May your luck last longer than your storm, brave one. May it indeed. Thank you, Archdruid. Well, that was a lot, but it jogged a memory. We have a charming a creature of the night spell, like a nightmare. 1 skull full of hot oak embers, a bit of sulfur, and a strand of pure-hearted maiden's hair. I have a skull, and I have embers. Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers and the ancient human skull. And I have something sulfurous. Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Sounds of steam. Phew, the smell of sulfur. And I have the hair of a pure-hearted maiden. Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull containing the embers and the spoiled egg. Alexander is carrying a human skull filled with oak embers, a strand of hair, and a spoiled egg. The embers are glowing hot. A foul-smelling steam rises from the egg and embers mixture. Well, I will never be as ready as I am now. So let us go to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. where, if you remember, there were some noxious plants that a night beast might want to nom on. Nom, 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 nom. Now you might think, oh no, we're gonna have to climb all the way up this again. But actually, they didn't force you to do that, for which I'm glad. There it is. Alexander arrives at the top of the cliff, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb. A mighty winged horse, the color of midnight, is feeding from the nightshade bush. The creature must be the nightmare, the ones the druids spoke about. The doors are open, and I don't know if you remember, but the Lord of the Winged Ones said that his people were dismantling the traps. If you had missed something like the skull or the coins or the shield, you could actually go back for them and not have to worry about traps this time. So that's nice. This game, probably of all the King's Quest games, they really tried to make it not unfinishable. There are places where it's unfinishable, but they tried. Alright, in the presence of the creature, speak incantation over the skull. Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone, leave thee numb. Purity, bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain. Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull. Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone. That's it, come on. I need passage to your homeland, fiery one. Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell. Now ride! Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly. Restless spirits are bound to the surface of the underworld. Chained by earthly cares, they are unable to go below. The ghoulish animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape. These two spirits wander together. The spirit of a beautiful and noble-looking woman floats silently alongside that of a desperate-looking man. Uh-oh, one of the wandering ghouls brushes up against Alexander and burns all your flesh off. Damn. Well, that's why we save our game. Oh man, we gotta do the whole thing again? Really? Really, really? I didn't realize we'd have to immediately hoof it. Haha, hoof it. Let's try this again. Alright. That's very annoying to me. You should have a chance to look around and... Alrighty. Now, how quickly can we save? Oh, good. We can save right now. Underworld. Some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly. Alright. Alexander is standing on the surface of the realm of the dead. The barren, surreal landscape is cold and gray. Twisted shapes loom on the horizon. The surface is haunted by the ghoulish shapes of the undead and the chained, tormented spirits of mortals, unable to rest in peace. The ghoulish, animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape. Restless spirits are bound to the surface of the underworld. Chained by earthly cares, they are unable to go below. These two spirits wander together. The spirit of a beautiful and noble-looking woman floats silently alongside that of a desperate-looking man. Can we talk to them? Really? Can, like, we have just a tiny bit of... And because I saved in the middle of a... Oh my god. Alright. Well, this is why we save. So fun fact. You do actually need to talk to those two spirits. But it is entirely possible to continue through the underworld without talking to them. And without even noticing that they exist or that they're important. And it's especially possible to do that because it's, you know, you might be rushing to get away from the spirits which are trying to kill you. And if you don't talk to them, then you'll get all the way to the end of the game, and the end of the game will not work, and you won't understand why, and you'll have wasted all of your time and lives and saves, and everything will be sad, and you will cry. And your game will be stuck. And all because you didn't talk to two ghosts, which the game practically punishes you for standing around looking at, because you have to hurry, get off the screen before the zombies dissolve you. So, whoever designed that, honestly, needs to be dragged out in the street and beaten. Oh, Sierra. You try so hard. It's like there was one guy at Sierra who was trying really hard to make fun games, but he was opposed by, like, dozens of people who were trying really hard to prevent people from having fun. Okay. Some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly. Yeah, I get it. Oh my god. Is their speed based on, like, processor power or something? No! Oh, there we go. Who are you, grieving spirits? I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphim. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted vizier. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken and he will not speak. Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima? Our daughter! Have you news of the princess? I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak, but I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Ahasuerus is keeping her in her room in mourning for you. Oh, dreaded news! I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her. Cassima, how I've failed thee. My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger. I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Vizier. Cosima needs you too. But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it, nor for that matter can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead, but he would never help us. He has no mercy. I might be able to convince him. I must try. Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here, and if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained. Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all. Okay, actually, I lied about you being able to get to the end of the game without talking to her, but you can't get further without talking to them. And we're probably going to die now because of the zombie. Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful. I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria. Uh-oh, one of the... Oh, God. I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't. I wonder if somebody has... If somebody has a solution for this? And of course we're coming up on the hour. I don't know how to dodge them when they're going so fast. And it's not even like we can... What's really bugging me is that we can't save the game and... If we hit escape, will it just get us with it? Nope. We are gonna watch it, and we're gonna watch it each time. Alright, save the game. I am Queen Ilaria. Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful. Uh-oh, one of the ghouls, etc. Is there a way to... Okay, so they're not actively trying to hunt me down. It's just... I was standing in their pathing. Oh, okay. Oh, thank God. Please let that be enough. Who are you, grieving spirits? It kind of takes away from the pathos of the moment whenever you're dealing with that. Okay, good. Now we can leave. Please let us leave. Oh, thank God. Ah, okay, this is the one. I knew there was... I was like, I know I got to the end of the game, and there was somebody I hadn't talked to in the underworld. It's been a few years. God, it's been a few decades. Underworld 3. So this woman is easily overlooked. Where is my little boy? The spirit of a woman hangs like a puff of smoke in the air.
She is weeping and appears to be very distressed about something.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No, his spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me, but I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you, oh my Ali. No, 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 no. No, you...
No, 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 no,
no, oh my God.
Oh, thank God.
Why would they add that? So of course you're rushing through this area as quickly as possible.
The skeleton to the left of the path hands something to the spirits that approach the underworld entrance. Ticket, please. Next. Let's save the game again.
A strange skeleton with a long horse-like head and ceremonial armor stands at the base of the path to the underworld. He watches over new arrivals with a discerning eye, handing tickets to the spirits desiring admittance. A large bone keyring hangs from his wrist. Or waist. Wrist. A uniformed skeleton stands guard at the entrance to the underworld. He takes something from the passing spirits and then waves them on into the underworld. A group of large bones forms an interesting arrangement to the right of the path. Two smaller bones are propped up onto the ground near the larger group. You would think it would be just a matter of giving the queen's tickets here to the guard, but there is something else we're supposed to do here. Might I get one of those tickets? The skeleton with the tickets must not approve of Alexander's less than ghostly looks. He refuses to give him a pass. Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now what do these bones remind him of? Oh yes, now I remember. The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance. So, the head skeleton, whilst in his enthusiasm for dance, he has dropped the key. Alexander finishes his tune and the skeletons resume their post. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier. A key made of bone has fallen from the skeleton's keyring and now lies upon the ground. Alexander picks up the skeleton key. I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please let me pass. Tickets only. The skeleton at the door seems quite determined. So we are past the hour mark at this stage, and I know that the underworld, we still have quite a bit more to go. So I'm going to pause here and cut the video. And when we come back, we will go into the underworld proper. We're actually kind of just on the outer rim of the underworld at the moment, because it's not until we've given them our ticket that we actually go deeper inside. So when we come back, we will do that. Once again, this is King's Quest VI. My name is Anna Mardal.
And I appreciate so much you guys being patient with me as we go through, gosh, that same cutscene with the nightmare. What was it, 4 times? Yeah, I'm sorry. I could probably edit it out, but you know what? I'm not going to. We will suffer it together. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.